So ladies and gentlemen, today in this video I'm going to go over quite a bit of news to do with Doom Patrol Season 2. However, I am going to put that in the back half of this video because a few days ago there was some Swamp Thing news which has a lot of people confused, I think, and I just want to make sure I iron that out for a lot of people who may be thinking a certain thing or two about the future of Swamp Thing now that the CW has acquired it. But then we'll go over the brand new synopsis for Doom Patrol Season 2 because they've also released the release date and a whole bunch of info for just the premise of those first episodes. So I can't wait to get into that. You can skip to that if you want to, if you already know about the Swamp Thing stuff, but I want to weigh in my opinion on all of that because, as you guys know, I loved Swamp Thing, but now the CW have picked it up, and this has got people thinking many different things, and I just want to make sure everyone has the facts straight because I was going to make a video about this a few days ago, but I thought, nah, it'll be fine, but people keep coming to me and saying, wait, are we going to get Season 2 of Swamp Thing on the CW? Wait, does this mean this? Does this mean that? So let's get into that. But if you're enjoying these videos, guys, and you enjoy my coverage, I would really appreciate your show of support through clicking that like button, because it really does just help out the videos, helps bolster them. You can check out my Patreon in the description, or even the join button on this channel where you can become a member, get badges, live stream badges, you get exclusive Discord access. Check that out. But let's actually speak about what's going on now. So you may or may not have heard already, but the CW has acquired Swamp Thing. Now, as a result of this, they will be showing Swamp Thing Season 1 that originally aired on DC Universe. I've done my whole season review on that. Check it out on the cards above if you happen to want to check out reviews when the CW air it. And this is because their full schedule, because of the whole illness, and I'm calling it illness, you guys know why, situation really screwed up the CW's full schedule. Like, shows that they plan to go on in the fall will not be happening as predicted, unfortunately, or as scheduled. So they've got some other shows like Swamp Thing and quite a few others, to be honest, to fill in some of these slots. And to be honest, the CW have Stargirl now. They've acquired it. We need to. This is what I'm getting to. They don't own it, but they're showing it. DC Universe still made Stargirl. They're still simultaneously showing Stargirl alongside the CW, and now Swamp Thing is just another thing like that. They've put it in their full schedule. It's a series that's already aired on DC Universe. This does not mean that the CW own it. What this does mean is that the CW have the distribution rights now to show it on their network, which, in one way it's really cool because this will open up Swamp Thing for a lot more viewers out there. I understand some people may be like, oh, I didn't watch Swamp Thing because it got cancelled, so I didn't want to get too into it or be too upset by it not continuing, but I don't view it that way. I still encourage you to check out Swamp Thing, even check it out on DC Universe right now, just because you could treat it like a long movie. Some movies don't get sequels, and that doesn't stop you from watching them, and you can treat Swamp Thing as this awesome, like, there's still a lot of work, quality, story, and everything that went into that show. And take it from me, I know you guys know that I prefer the DC Universe blend of shows and the more higher quality over there, and I'm not shilling this, but trust me, it's worth checking out. Amazing production. And the reason why I say DC Universe is because the CW, this is another interesting thing. Now that they will be releasing Swamp Thing on the CW, I'm baffled. I'm actually kind of baffled as to why it isn't Titans and they didn't choose Titans for their full schedule. Maybe that wasn't an option for them, but the reason why I'm discussing this now is because Swamp Thing is very gory. I wouldn't say like insanely horror movie gory, but if you know anything about Swamp Thing, this was like DC Universe's opportunity to kind of do like a horror-esque show. And man, like, a lot of the stuff you see in this is very bloody. Like, you literally see Swamp Thing and the Green impale people who are going into the swamp. And not only that, I can't remember how much cussing or swearing is in it. Not a whole bunch, so that should be fine. But the thing is, just the same as Stargirl, Swamp Thing episodes are quite long. Now, that doesn't mean that every single episode is almost an hour long, but for example, the first 3 episodes of Stargirl, this is why it's interesting that they're choosing to air it on the CW as well. They're around 52, 53, I think even one is 54 minutes long. That doesn't mean that every single episode is going to be that length, because same thing with Swamp Thing, I would say the majority of episodes, or maybe just over half, around over 50 minutes, 52 minutes. There are some that are 44 minutes, 45 minutes. So same thing with Swamp Thing, plus the gore that is in it. It's just like, they're going to have to cut that out for the CW. There's no way that they can show some of that stuff on on the CW that is in Swamp Thing. So if you want the full experience, the full episode length, go to DC Universe, because that's where you can check it out. I just don't know if you guys have already seen Swamp Thing, you'll know what I'm on about. Like Stargirl, there isn't any swearing in it. The only stuff they're going to cut out is just trimming down the episode, because there isn't anything that they can't really show in that, because I've seen 3 episodes and that all seems fine for the CW. But Swamp Thing, on the other hand, there's a lot of trimming to be done. So either way, does this mean anything for season 2? I took quite a while to get to this point. No, as I said, we need to remind ourselves that the CW are only airing Swamp Thing. This doesn't mean that Swamp Thing is going to get literally revived and then renewed for, you know, a season 2. Swamp Thing was indeed cancelled. Nothing to do with the quality of the show or anything like that. Before anyone says, oh, it got cancelled, so it must be bad. No, it was some behind the scenes bull crap, put it very bluntly, without getting into all the details. I've done videos on that. But you could argue, if this got insane popularity on the CW, like everyone was just tweeting about it, talking about it, then of course, yeah, like that would spark conversations for maybe continuing it. But if I had to place my money, no, it's not going to come out of the swamp, so to speak. If they were going to bring back Swamp Thing for season 2, bring back those sets from Destruction, it would take an absolutely massive audience influx of people talking about it to happen. So don't get your hopes up. The CW are just distributing it, and that is all I've got to say about that, just in case anybody's confused out there. Don't believe those headlines of people saying Swamp Thing has been acquired by the CW, and, you know, what does this mean for season 2 and things like that. Oh, and one more thing, by the way, even if we did get a season 2, I would not want it to be on the CW. The budget for Swamp Thing, the CW, well, let me just put it this way. There's been a meme ever since Swamp Thing was even airing about if the CW would ever do it, and here's my answer for that. Now, Doom Patrollers, welcome. Whether you skipped to this part of the video or if you just watched through the Swamp Thing thing, either way, we're here to talk about season 2 of Doom Patrol. As many of you Doom Patrollers know, we were meant to probably get Doom Patrol a little bit earlier than what this official release date is now, which is indeed June 25th. If you aren't aware already, they were literally filming the finale. They had 1 or 2 days left, but unfortunately when the illness struck, it quite simply meant they couldn't finish the finale episode. Now, I have absolutely no idea what they're actually doing to remedy that situation, because it's not like they've gone back to production now. I think they're safely assuming, considering episode 1 will be airing on DC Universe and HBO Max simultaneously on June 25th, that maybe by the time they're releasing the episodes week by week by week, that they will be able to finish that finale off well into July, maybe even August, depending, maybe not that long, maybe around that time. Maybe that's what they're banking on. I'm sure it is, because yeah, they were literally filming the finale, had a day or 2 left. Imagine how frustrating that must have been. Now, we do have a synopsis for season 2, and if you've been following my Doom Patrol update videos, you'll know that this is more or less what we've been expecting. But either way, it's exciting to get some tidbits of the story for episode 1 of season 2, and that is as follows. DC's strangest group of heroes: Cliff Steele, aka Robot Man; Larry Trainer, aka Negative Man; Rita Farr, aka Elasti-Woman; Jane, aka Crazy Jane; and Victor Stone, aka Cyborg, are back again to save the world. That is, if they can find a way to grow up, both figuratively and literally. Following the defeat of Mr. Nobody, the members of the Doom Patrol now find themselves mini-sized and stranded on Cliff's toy race car track. Here they begin to deal with their feelings of betrayal by Niles Calder, aka the Chief, while confronting their own personal baggage. And as each member faces the challenge of growing beyond their own past traumatic experiences, they must come together to embrace and protect the newest member of the family, Dorothy Spinner, Niles' daughter, whose power remains a mysterious but real threat to bringing on the end of the world. And as I said, Doom Patrol is set to release on HBO Max June 25th, and you know, if you've got DC Universe and that membership, it will also be airing on there at the same time. But yeah, that sounds very exciting. If you've been following my updates, I've been talking about season 2, what we can expect from that, and of course, you know, spoiler alert, just in case you haven't seen season 1, just want to put that out there. If you haven't seen Doom Patrol, what are you doing? Quite literally, probably the best comic book live action adaptation of anything I've ever seen in my life. But yeah, going into the end of season 1, obviously the Chief and the Doom Patrol, they realized what the Chief did to them and how he played a very crucial part in their accidents that created them into these monstrosities or outcasts of societies, if you will, but you know, for example, Robot Man, we've got Crazy Jane, we've got Rita Farr, we've got Cyborg. He all had like a little, you know, Larry Trainer, he had a little bit of a part to play in their origins for their metahuman powers or their abilities, and that is borderline unforgivable, especially the context behind each of their own tragedies. I can't wait to see how that's explored because, as I said, when I've speculated about this before, I've said, how are they ever going to forgive the Chief? I just don't really see how they can, albeit that the finale of season 1 brought them together to help the Chief because his daughter was in danger. I'm thinking Dorothy Spinner, his daughter, is going to be the crux, not the crux, sorry, the kind of thing that holds them together. I think they won't want to abandon this young girl who has this untapped, insane power, which is why in the season 2 synopsis, they said, you know, whose powers remain mysterious, but a real threat to bringing it on the end of the world. Because if you know about Dorothy Spinner, if you don't know about her, I'll leave some videos in the cards above or the description down below where I've gone over what you can expect from her. She is insanely powerful. She can bring things from her imagination to life, and I'm sure the show is going to bring about some new nooks and crannies about her character, maybe even possibly make her more overpowered than, you know, because that's the thing about Doom Patrol. You had Mr. Nobody, insanely overpowered. Dorothy Spinner in her comic book characters and ability is quite like that as well, but I can imagine they're going to really emphasize that on the screen to make, yet again, another ludicrous and ridiculous situation for the Doom Patrol to handle in season 2. And of course, as of the end of season 1 as well, we had the Doom Patrol shrunk. Larry was bringing them inside Doom Manor, and it looks like he's going to drop them off on Cliff Steele's little race car track he built. That's going to be very funny to see because everything on the racetrack to them is going to be lifelike. So I can imagine yet again a very, very funny, wacky, insanely just strange season 2 premiere episode. And then obviously, you know, they're just gonna have to deal with things and their own baggage as well, because that's one of the things that I think I love most about Doom Patrol. Definitely the thing I love most is their character development, their character exploration, their ability to connect with the audience to the character. No matter how weird or wacky whatever character's situation is, you can relate to them. And the performances are just incredible. I hope that has you excited for Doom Patrol Season 2. It's just a little bit of information. 25th of June. We've got a little bit to wait, but it's going to be worth it. Reviews on this channel will be going forward as normal, so make sure you stay subscribed for all information regarding Doom Patrol Season 2. Any trailers that we get, which, knowing DC Universe or just DC in general, their marketing isn't always so spot on, so we might have to wait nearer to the release date to actually get any footage, but hopefully they might surprise us this year. And as for Swamp Thing, well, we've been over that. Let me know what you think about Swamp Thing. Will you be watching it? Did you not watch it on DC Universe? Are you looking forward to it coming on the CW? But yeah, that is everything in this video, guys. So thank you so much for watching. Show your support on this video by leaving a like on it. I really do appreciate it. If you want to support the channel even further, I do have a Patreon where you can click in the description to help fuel the content that I just, you know, make videos with on this channel. Everything goes directly back into the channel. You can do that by joining the channel as well with the join button. Aside from that, everyone, join my Discord server, say hi to me personally there. But thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope you have a lovely rest of your day, and I'll see you Swamp Things and Doom Patrollers in the next video. Goodbye.